Please subscribe, like and comment and share. Rings and lamps. The city of Noorabad was famous for two things, its rings and its lamps. The rings were small, unassuming circles of metal, gold, silver, brass, and sometimes iron, sold in quiet shops along the old bazaar. To an outsider, they looked ordinary, but everyone in Noorabad knew that rings carried memory. They absorbed the intentions, promises, and secrets of those who wore them. Over time, a ring could become warm with loyalty, heavy with guilt, or light with love. The lamps, on the other hand, were impossible to ignore. They stood tall at every street corner, hanging from carved poles or resting on stone pedestals. At dusk, they lit themselves without flame, filling the streets with a gentle amber glow. These lamps were said to contain captured starlight, bottled centuries ago by the city's founders. The lamps did more than illuminate roads, they revealed truth. Under their light, lies felt uncomfortable, disguises itched against the skin, and hidden intentions shimmered faintly, like heat above sand. Because of the rings and the lamps, Noorabad had long been a city of careful words and deliberate choices. Ayan had grown up beneath those lamps. Every evening, as the sun dipped behind the minarets and tiled rooftops, he helped his father light the shop. His father, Karim the ringmaker, would unlock a wooden chest and take out rings wrapped in faded cloth. One by one, Ayan placed them on velvet cushions while the lamps outside hummed softly, awakening for the night. Remember, his father often said, his fingers steady despite age, a ring is not shaped by fire alone. It is shaped by the hand that wears it. Ayan nodded every time, though he did not fully understand. To him, rings were beautiful but troublesome. Customers came with hopes too large for a circle of metal, a ring to bind a lover's heart, a ring to bring courage, a ring to forget pain. His father never promised miracles, only balance. Ayan, however, wanted more than balance. He wanted change. At 19, he dreamed of leaving Noorabad, of cities where lamps did not judge you and rings were just jewelry. He imagined a life where truth did not glow visibly above one's head, where mistakes could be hidden long enough to be forgiven. Then, one night, a stranger entered the shop. The lamps outside flickered as the man stepped inside, their glow dimming just a little, a rare occurrence that made Ayan's heart quicken. The stranger wore a dark cloak and gloves despite the warm evening. His face was sharp, his eyes restless. "I seek a ring," the man said, his voice smooth but strained. "One that can hold a vow without revealing it." Karim looked up slowly. Under the shop's lamp, the stranger's outline wavered, as if something inside him resisted the light. "No ring can hide truth forever," Karim replied calmly. "At best, it can delay its weight." "That is enough," the stranger said. He placed a heavy pouch on the counter. Coins clinked softly. Ayan felt a strange pull, like a whisper at the edge of his mind. Before his father could refuse, Ayan spoke. "I can make it." Karim turned sharply. "Ayan, I've studied your designs," Ayan continued, surprised by his own confidence. "I know how to weave intention deeper, quieter." The lamps brightened slightly, reacting to his resolve. The stranger smiled. Then let the boy try. Against his better judgment, Karim stepped aside. That night, Ayan worked alone. He chose a simple band of silver, cooling it slowly, engraving symbols not taught but remembered as if his hands recalled an older language. He focused not on concealment, but on patience, on teaching the ring to listen rather than speak. When he finished, the ring felt cool and silent. The stranger returned before dawn. He slipped the ring on his finger, and for a moment, nothing happened. The lamps outside remained steady. "Good," the stranger murmured, relief flickering across his face. He vanished into the sleeping city. Kareem said nothing, but his eyes were heavy with worry. "You've crossed a line," he said finally. Ayan shrugged, though unease crept into his chest. "I only bent it." Weeks passed, and Noorabad began to change. The lamps, once steady and warm, started to flicker unpredictably. In certain streets, their light grew harsh, revealing truths too quickly, too cruelly. In others, they dimmed, allowing whispered lies to slip by unnoticed. People argued more. Trust frayed. And rings grew restless. Customers returned, complaining that their rings felt heavier than before, or strangely hollow. Some claimed their rings burned their skin under the lamps, exposing emotions they had never intended to show. Then rumors spread of a man wearing a silent ring, moving through the city untouched by the lamp's truth. Ayan knew. The stranger's vow, whatever it was, had begun to poison the balance. One evening, as Ayan walked home, a lamp above the central square went dark entirely. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Darkness pooled unnaturally, swallowing the stone beneath it. From the shadows emerged the stranger. His cloak was gone, his face drawn tight with strain. The ring on his finger glowed faintly, not with light but with absence, a small hole in the world's honesty. "You made this possible," he said to Ayan, who stood frozen. "And now you must finish it. What was your vow?" Ayan asked. The man laughed bitterly. "To rule without judgment. To shape the city while hiding my intent." He had been a counselor, one bound by the lamps to serve truth. The ring had freed him and unbalanced everything. The lamps and rings were made together, the man continued. Break one, and the other follows. But there is a way to rewrite them. A greater ring. A greater lamp. Fear tightened Ayan's throat. At what cost? The man's eyes flicked to the darkened lamp. A life. Or a legacy. Ayan ran. He found his father at the shop, already packing away rings as the lamps outside flickered violently. "I'll fix it," Ayan said, voice shaking. "I started this." Kareem placed a hand on his son's shoulder. "Then you must listen, not lead." Together, they descended into the cellar beneath the shop, where an ancient lamp rested, one never lit, one said to contain the first light captured in Noorabad. Kareem revealed the truth Ayan had never been told. "The lamps reveal truth because they were bound to sacrifice," he said softly. "The founders gave up their anonymity, their secrets, forever. To renew the balance, someone must do the same." Ayan understood. He took the silent ring he had forged, melted it down, and reshaped it not to hide, but to hold everything. Every doubt, every fear, every desire to run away. At dawn, beneath the darkened central lamp, Ayan raised the ancient light and placed the new ring at its base. "I give my name," he whispered. "My story. Let the city know me completely." The lamp flared. Light flooded the square, gentle and true. The darkness vanished. The stranger screamed as his ring shattered, his hidden intentions exposed beneath the full weight of the lamps. He fled, powerless. When the light settled, the lamps across Noorabad glowed steady once more. But Ayan felt her broken bar empty. In the days that followed, people spoke of Ayan with familiarity they could not explain. Strangers greeted him by name, knowing his fears, his dreams, his mistakes. There were no secrets left to protect him, no shadows to hide in. Yet there was peace. Ayan took over the shop, not as a ring maker alone, but as a keeper of balance. He crafted rings that reminded wearers of responsibility, not escape. And every evening, as the lamps lit themselves, their glow warm and forgiving, Ayan stood beneath them fully known, fully present. In Noorabad, rings still carried memory, and lamps still revealed truth. But now, they also carried mercy.